Hola YouTube, this is Trainer Teo, and today I'm doing something a little different. I guess this will be a two-part video, but I went to Spain and I was able to, let me just focus, get myself 2 packs of Chaos Rising. I had a fun trip and I wanted to make a fun little mini series where I basically pick a Pokemon from these packs. So I will pick 2 Pokemon and I want to draw a regional variant or a divergent or convergent Pokemon based off of one that I pick from the packs. Hopefully that's clear. And if not, I'll just do a voiceover. But basically, that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, I'm going to try and say this. I think it's Chaos Crescente in the Mega Evolution generation. But wish me luck. I already thought of a few Pokemon that I would actually like to create a Paldean version of, because I guess Paldea is based off of Spain. I was in the south of Spain, so there was a lot of culture over there. I learned quite a bit, so I have a lot of things to go off of. But yeah, let's just dive right into it. So first ever Spanish booster pack that I ever get to open, and hopefully not the last. All right, I'm pretty sure it's the same card trick. I'm gonna guess grass. Ooh, psychic. Energía básica. So it's a psychic basic energy. Here's the code, by the way, for y'all. Oh, pink borders. Oh my god, I would have never seen that. All right, here we go. Baltoy. I'm going to try and say the names too, so sorry if I mispronounce things. We have a Patrat, which is still Patrat. Nice. A Bergmite. Oh, wait. Is Baltoy just Baltoy? I guess all the names are the same. We have a Metang, a Deoxys. I'm going to say it in French, but I don't know how to say this in Spanish, but I would say it in French, which is Matière. But there we go. We got a Garbodor, a Trevenant reverse, a Delphox reverse, and oh, 2 Trevenants. Holy schmoly. All right, so I'm torn between drawing a Paldean Baltoy versus a Paldean Metang. I guess you guys will see in a few seconds which one I chose, but it's gonna be one of these two. Wish me luck. All right, voiceover Teo is here, and I chose to go with Baltoy. Now, I had a few ideas for Baltoy, but for some reason, I really just fixated on a new evolution for Baltoy. So everyone knows and loves Clay Doll, but now in the Spanish region, or Paldea, I gave Baltoy an alternate evolution with, I think, a really fun evolution method. Baltoy's Pokédex entry would go as follows. Baltoy was originally brought over to Paldea from an unknown southern region as entertainment for the children and to help with manual labor. Given the unique climate of southern Paldea, Baltoy quickly adapted and unlocked a new evolution where it would become essential to life in southern Paldea. Without further ado, let's get into the concept and design of the evolution for Baltoy. So the first thing I did was do a little research on Baltoy by looking at its species. It's the clay doll Pokemon. I'm going to focus more on the clay part. I also looked at the Pokemon's description, its Pokédex entries from its many games that it's been a part of to get a better idea of the Pokemon. But as I said, my Baltoy evolution will have 2 main design concepts behind it. The first being the fact that I'm basing it from a gourd. Now, when I was in Spain and Portugal. I went during the summer. It is extremely hot in the south of Spain, and I always needed a bottle of water. So why not make this Pokemon some giant friendly water bottle, a giant gourd? I got the gourd idea because I wanted to initially flip Claydol literally. Having a big head and a smaller body, I flipped that to having a small head and a large body. The second source of inspiration is basically these tiles that they adorn their buildings with in Portugal and in Spain specifically. Excuse me if I'm not pronouncing this right, but I'm going to say this in the Spanish pronunciation. It's called azulejos, and azulejos translates directly to blue tiles. When I went to Portugal, it was the first time I saw these beautiful buildings with blue tiles, and I loved it. Honestly, if you do have a chance to go to Portugal, specifically in Lisbon, they have some great tile work over there. So now, without further ado, I would like to introduce you guys to Goramic. Caring by nature, Goramic's physiology allows air to condensate within its hollow body, providing fresh drinking water for any who are parched. With its unique passion for azulejos, people in villages paint and adorn Goramic with beautiful tiles. Goramic is always seen defending the villages of those that show it love, using the tiles as offense and defense. Now, if you're wondering where the name Goramic comes from, well, it's exactly what I described before, the two main sources of inspiration for Goramic. The first being a gourd, and the second being ceramic, which is what happens when you fire clay in a kiln. Which leads me to how we evolve Baltoy into Goramic. I really had a lot of fun thinking about how to make Baltoy evolve into Goramic, and I think the method I came up with was pretty cool. So essentially, same as evolving into Claydol, I believe you need to get Baltoy up to level 35, but in this case, you need to have a Baltoy be minimum level 35. You need to be in a battle with harsh sunlight, and your Baltoy needs to survive 3 powerful fire type attacks. Now, by powerful, I'll let the internet decide whether that's a flamethrower, which is about 90 base power, or a fire blast, which is 120. Now, I thought of this idea because, as I mentioned, in order to turn your, for example, clay mug into a beautiful ceramic mug, you need to put it in a kiln and blast it with a ton of heat. And I figured, wouldn't that be awesome if the battle environment was the kiln itself, and being struck by 3 fire type attacks allows Baltoy to evolve? In the comments, let me know what you guys think, if you think this is a pretty cool evolution method. As you can also see, Goramic is going to be a steel psychic type. I decided to upgrade it from a ground type to a steel type. A lot of people wouldn't say that's an upgrade, but I feel like in terms of durability, steel is a lot stronger, and I want to show that through Goramic's steel typing. Also, I gave Goramic 2 abilities. One is a hidden ability, but the first one is called Perfect Guard, which is an ability that I created myself, and again, you guys can let me know if this is a good ability or if I should change it up a bit. But what Perfect Guard is essentially is you can send out Goramic into battle and it will not take any damage from any hazard terrains. Hazard terrains? From any terrain hazards. And if the opposing Pokemon uses any status conditions, Goramic will not be affected by them. Now, as for its second ability or hidden ability, I chose to give it Rain Dish because I thought that it would be really fun if Goramic could be like, I don't know why, but I think of Yu-Gi-Oh! And like a dragon capture jar where it just sucks up the dragon, but in this case, water. So any sort of water type attacks being thrown at it will just be absorbed into Goramic. And I felt like giving, maybe if I, expand on this Goramic Pokemon, it would have some fun water type attacks, maybe a Hydro Cannon or a Hydro Pump from all the water that it collects. Now, as you can see in this little character sheet I drew for Goramic, I decided to show off a bit of its character. So as I described, Goramic being loved by the people of its village, after defending its village, in the top left you can see a young girl giving Goramic a new tile to replace those that were broken. As you can see in the bottom left, there's a Lucario using a Force Palm on the tile and it breaking. I also thought of an idea kind of like Disguise, how Mimikyu is invulnerable to attacks for the first attack it takes, and then after that you can hit it freely. I wanted to do something similar like that in terms of an ability, but I felt like it was too similar to Mimikyu's. But yeah, in the top right, you can also see what it would look like fighting. I decided to use that fun little pointed tile that it uses as its feet, as a little like joust that it uses to like poke and launch at its opponents, and it uses the tiles as a shield as well. And in the bottom right, you can see Goramic being kind and pouring out some water for whoever wants a sip of some fresh water. But that just about does it for this little Fakemon video that I came up with. I hope you all enjoyed, and please leave a like, share, and comment down below if you think Goramic is a cool Pokemon and if you would have it on your team or if you would like to have it in real life like me, because whenever I travel to a warm country, a nice big bottle of water always sounds great. But yeah, with that, I'd like to give a spoiler to those that decided to stick around till the end. But in the next video that I make, I won't just be making one regional variant Pokemon. I will be making a full evolutionary line of 3 Pokemon. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you tune in for the next one. And I will catch you for part 2 of this little Fakemon in Spain series, or Paldea. I'll catch you later.